This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
JP, how do you like sandwiches? We're just going to jump into it.
They're fine.
They're fine?
Yeah.
Is this picky eater thing again?
No. I mean, I like eating at Jimmy John's.
Okay.
So I like sandwiches. But I'm pretty plain. I'm just like meat and cheese. Lettuce every once in a while.
No condiments, that's right.
No condiments really on.
That is so strange to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate like mayo, mustard. No, not so much. But like if you give me a hamburger or something, I'll throw condiments on it.
But is a hamburger a sandwich?
It's between two pieces of bread.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you had to pack a sandwich for a disc golf round, what would it be?
Probably like some kind of like Italian, like a provolone, salami, like capicola, something like
the pepperoni and all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Or like I like a hot Italian beef sandwich.
Oh yeah, or like a French dip.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
What about PB and J?
I'm just straight PB.
Just PB?
Yeah, I hate
no
jelly
J
too. Yeah.
Just peanut butter?
Yep. Maybe like a fluffernutter.
Ooh, that's good. So like marshmallow with peanut butter.
With peanut butter, yeah. Or Nutella.
All right, I'm for it.
Or something like that.
I'm for it. See, Nutella, like I'm good with it, but
actually, like I'm not good with Nutella. But there's this.
Why'd you offer it up?
No. Because it got me thinking about this. There's this company called New York Peanut Butter Company, and so they make a bunch of different like kind of flavored peanut butters, like dark chocolate and some other stuff. So I've bought their stuff a couple times and made sandwiches with it.
Have you ever had the honey roasted peanut butter?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's pretty good.
I love
honey roasted.
Yeah. I don't like crunchy peanut butter. It has to be like smooth.
Oh.
But
man, you got a lot of requirements. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Scott Pilgrim. You got to defeat my 7 evil exes.
Oh, I love that movie. So I'd be a PB&J guy. You'd be like an Uncrustable, throw 2 of those things in my bag. Good to go.
Yeah.
Good to go. I would love that. So
right on.
So that was just my random thought of the day when I was thinking, when I was standing there. Oh, I was cocking trim. How'd you like that? Where'd you think I was going with that?
Nothing. I was just going to say you better be awfully careful with how you Anyway.
Oh, yeah. So anyways, cocking, thinking about sandwiches. There you go.
Okay.
So what'd you buy? Was it a thrower, hanger, or flipper?
Yeah, I did buy something. I bought a mystery box. It was a Halo Polecat mystery box.
Okay.
So I got a Halo Polecat. Okay. And this was from Disc God. They used to be called Southside Plastic. So I knew that I was getting that disc in the box. And then I got a Gannon-Burr Signature D1, Prodigy D1. A special edition MVP Uplink. Okay. Which is kind of a cool robot stamp. I got a Clash popcorn. Sure. Which I haven't thrown the one that you gave me to try.
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, I haven't thrown them at all. And then what was the other one? An F3, which was another signature disc, but I forgot who was it. And that might have been it. Okay. I don't know. I think there's like 5 besides I saw somebody else got the same box that I was following on Instagram, and he got a Terra, the new MVP disc. It's like 8503 or something like that. Kind of like T-Bird-esque. So I was curious about. I was like, oh, I hope I get one of those, but I got an uplink.
Oh, like darn it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's a super understable mid-range, and I got one in the. I think they came in the Gyropalooza box. That was the Gyropalooza box disc. So, yeah. I mean, I don't really have an interest in throwing it, so I might try to flip that. Yeah, that's one of those novel, fun, like you want something to go on crazy hyzer and flip over to a roller. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of that, like a Paradox. Yeah, yeah, it's slightly more stable, but yeah, there's something else, maybe not, but that's all I got this week. Okay. So I got a Flight Towels Zuka grip, cart grip. Oh. FlightTowels.com. They have Zuka cart grips, right? Cool. I think it's Flight Towels. Okay. I ordered them, so I hope it's from but I got them in hand. I mean, I have them, but that's awesome. For the Zuka cart, they have like little squishy. I don't know. I just got black ones for mine, but I had some others. I gave one to. I want to say I gave it to Jordan
I remember I gave it to somebody else. I think it was Jordan was the only other person that had the Zuka at the time. So I think I gave one to him. But yeah, so that's the only thing I bought, and that will go onto the cart, and I will use it. So I'm not going to hang that one.
Like tape? Like grip tape?
No, it's like it's a 3D printed, and it's it fits the Zuka cart perfectly. Like you don't have to put anything, no glue, no nothing. Just pop it on. It's friction fit.
Oh, interesting.
Like they're really nice, and they have a plethora of colors.
Well, that's
plethora
cool.
of.
Because like the only thing I really know flight towel is they take the disc, and like they put the towel on like the edge of the disc, and you follow through with it and everything. I didn't know like they really made any other products.
Making me think that I'm telling the wrong, but through the podcast I'll look it up so I don't stop the flow. But 90% sure it's flight towel.
Cool.
That it's a handle for the Zuka carts specifically. But yeah, that was all I bought. I didn't really have any other time to do anymore. So we'll get into it. So I'm going to talk about our $10,000 matching, which thank you guys very much. We reached. Yeah. Is that right? Reached?
Yeah.
Why does that sound so wrong to me?
I don't know.
Okay, let's reverse that. Thank you very much. We reached the $10,000. So $20,000 going to the Paul Mcbeth Foundation. So $10,000 from you folks, $10,000 from myself and my wife. So thank you guys for making that successful. I had a hard time. This is the only place that I talked about it. I could have done better about presenting it and pushing it out there a little more and everything. But I always had a hard time with giving outward.
Yeah.
So I didn't, but it still made to the 10,000. So I'm super happy.
I donated on the last day and it was really close.
Yeah.
When I checked in like the couple days prior when we were recording, you mentioned it was like over.
It was just shy of 8. So
just
a little over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it went up, but thank you guys very much. Whoever donated, if you didn't, I'm sure there'll be another chance, but go ahead and go donate anyways. I know they're going to do another matching a little later in the year. Not from me. Not from me. From someone else.
Maybe Paul directly.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to raise more money.
But so did very well. So I'm super happy about that. The things we're going to talk about, DDO, of course, there's a lot to talk about in DDO. Skins match, we don't know much about it, but we're going to talk about it a little bit. And then we're going to talk about our doubles round.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it was a real good one. We'll talk about USWDGC, so the U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championship. And then we'll have a random question. So Jordan is not with us, so I have one for JP, and JP has one for me. And then we'll talk about our shop updates. So, JP, let's start with DDO.
Yeah, it was super exciting. in a like brutal kind of way.
Yeah. So I have a list of things. The one that I want to talk about very first, WTF Paul Mcbeth.
Yeah.
Like, what happened? I mean, that 2 sub-1,000 rated rounds, and first time in his career, he didn't make the cut.
Right. That's unbelievable.
And only by 1 stroke.
1 stroke. He was the only guy at his... Whatever, how far down? Where did he place?
He was 51st.
51st, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he was the only person there. He wasn't tied with anybody. He just missed by 1 stroke. I heard something crazy that the first round, MPO had over 700 out-of-bounds strokes. Or something like crazy like that.
I saw that. Well, like they were talking, who was it? I listened to Understable Minds today.
Okay.
Came out, and they had a stat where... Like Drew Gibson had like 70 something OB strokes.
Yes.
70?
Right.
4 days? And he still played, what did he play? Like 8 over or something like that? Or 9
something
over?
Like that. That's ridiculous.
70 OB strokes? I don't know if it was that much, but...
It was high because they were comparing people like
Ricky had like 18.
Yeah, something like that. Because they were like, okay, Drew had 70 or something, and they're comparing somebody else, and they're like, well, he had... this many, I forgot who the player was, but he missed the cut. So it was like Drew just gained that many strokes on, I don't know if it was on the green, like, or what. Because like putting, nobody putting well anyway.
Yeah. Just, that's amazing when you have that many OB strokes and still make the cut. I mean, that shows how difficult the course played in those conditions, but probably how difficult the course has changed to Supreme. And this was just talking Supreme layout. That wasn't...
Yeah, this was just, first and second rounds were like 750, and I think it went down to 5 at the second 500 and something the second round, and then the last round, because there was a cut, it went down to 200, just over 200, I think.
Yeah.
But I mean,
that's 47 guys.
Right. And country club, like the last round of country club, the weather was way better. It was much calmer than the first round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just incredible.
4 aces hit. So we'll talk. I want to talk specifically. So there was, I don't know there was an FPO that hit it.
Chloe Alice.
So Chloe Alice hit it, and then Blair, however you say his name.
In the practice round.
An Icelandic individual.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
So Jordan was over there. He's over here.
Yeah.
So Jordan is in Iceland right now, by the way. And then we have Jeremy Colling is no longer a bridesmaid.
Right.
He hit an ace. 4-hand ace on the third day. That crazy wind.
And he was
on 16.
He was the only player under par that round.
That's right. He was 3 under or something. 3 under. Like that.
He had the hot round.
What a crazy round. And that's awesome for him. Like,
that's awesome.
We talked about it the other day, how sneaky good he is. Like how really, really good Jeremy Colling is. We talked about it on the podcast. I don't know, maybe it was like 3 or 4 episodes ago. And that just goes to show you, like, a lot of people don't give him enough credit. Like, he is super good. He just needs to put it all together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we had the practice round, $25,000 for the Eric Foundation.
Yeah.
Which was
early
recognition is key.
Yeah.
Right? Or is,
something like that.
Early recognition is key.
Yeah, and that was Matt Bell.
Yeah.
And we kind of talked about it last episode, but the Eric thing, I just kind of heard about.
So 4 aces on 16. That's awesome.
Yeah, for the week. That's crazy.
That's awesome.
And then there's a couple on the AM side. I just popped up that I think Dee or someone had mentioned, that there's a number of aces on during some of the flex starts and things like that going on during the week in Emporia. Yeah.
Especially with how windy that was, man.
Yeah, unbelievable.
So, and then a big shout out, we'll go into it. So big shout out, Brody Smith, 3rd. So it's his first podium finish in a Pro Tour event.
Yeah.
So kind of an elite series.
Yeah.
So good for him. And I don't know if anyone, and I love because I did watch a little bit of it. I loved the pre-roll that they did of him. You know how they do introduction and then they do a pre-roll.
Right.
They did that pre-roll of Brody, and just how genuine, how much he truly loves the sport. At least that's the way it came across. And think about how much he's diving in. Like, they're opening his shop, their foundation, how much he's jumped in with foundation. I think that's fantastic. So I was excited to see him get into 3rd. And not only that, because I have a little bit of a
fan crush.
Yeah, a little bit of a crush on him, but I think it's more so that I get to mess with one of our buddies and just say, hey, look how good Brody did.
I was going to say something the other day about it, but I wasn't sure who was watching or anything going on. I was like, I can't believe this is happening right now.
I know. It's actually pretty incredible because he came into the final day in
second.
He was in second.
Yeah.
And then he slipped a little bit, had a really rough day the final day.
Yeah, he did.
Played great all 3 rounds. I think he averaged like 1040 something.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. So awesome. Good for him.
He kind of picked it up on the back because he ended up with I think a birdie to finish out.
Yeah.
And on 18, and he ended up in that 3-way or 5-way tie.
Yeah.
For 3rd, which is crazy. And then
because it was a solo second, which is awesome. Yeah. We'll talk about that in just a bit. So yeah, I'm happy for him, and like I said, I think he can be a top 10 disc golfer this year. I still think it's possible. I mean, with the way the time and energy and his focus. I mean, it just seems, and the grind he's in. Not that everybody else isn't, but I don't know. He's an athlete. We've talked about this before. He's just a true athlete. He's a professional athlete. So
yeah,
super happy about it.
It's cool too. A lot of people. Logan Harpool's a name that's kind of been around with DD for a while. It's cool to see him and that Jake
Liebenheimer.
Yeah,
Liebenheimer Schmidt.
Yeah,
who was it that said that?
I don't know.
I heard it, but yeah, Liebenheimer.
But yeah, I mean, two guys that you like, that Jake, he's not even a pro player. He's, you know, I think I heard he's a special education teacher.
Right.
And like, he just came here on this, you know.
That's Harble, right? Wasn't he the?
Oh, I don't know.
Either way, one of them was a special education teacher.
Yeah. I thought it was, and he had the, you know, if you're watching, he's got the crazy underhand,
like horseshoe style,
or beanbag style putt. Like, I was watching him line it up at first. I was like, okay, this is interesting, and then extremely nose down.
Yes,
like, unbelievable. Like, to the point where I can't believe that the wind wouldn't just bat it up, you know, just right down to the ground.
Yeah, well, if he throws it so hard, and the thing that would probably catch a lot of new viewers, so any of our individuals that just started playing, the stepping inside the circle. It's kind of a little mind game because he's stepping to his lie, he's not stepping beyond his lie. So he has that step when he pitches. And there's a lot of times where he was pitching, and I know that I saw a couple little rumblings here and there, social media, talking about like foot faults and stuff like that. And I was just like, no, he's stepping to his lie. He's not stepping over his lie. So it was kind of neat. But I mean,
even if he kicked his mini, though, he could get called for it.
Exactly, so. Yeah. But he's pretty good about it. I mean, he was always, because you got 13 inches behind your lie. So, I mean, but I wish I had a putt that was that consistent and that good. Even if it's unorthodox, that doesn't matter to me.
Someone, I think it was Johnny V on Smashbox, he's calling it like the old man putt or something like that. But, you know, it's like one of those things like, you see it's just so unique, but he obviously developed that from like watching somebody do it before. Like,
potentially,
yeah, you know, he's the only person I've seen doing it, but that's got to be a learned thing from like something else or like some other sport that he just learned to do that.
Who was the guy? Bill, the old guy that came. He's like PDGA number 1300. He putted like that. He had that.
You're talking. Brian?
Was it Brian? Brian. Why can't I remember his name? Anyways, he comes up every year.
Yeah.
And that's how he has a putt just like that, where he has that pitch putt, and he's always within 3 feet. But 90% of the time he hits something.
Sure.
You know, he always hits chains or something like that. And it's deadly if he has that room to do it, it's deadly. But I think Jake took it to just a whole nother level.
Because like the way he cocks his wrist to get the snap on the disc, like when you're pulling through, is unbelievable. Like I've tried it a couple times in rounds, and like as soon as you snap your wrist, the force of the disc makes it, you know, want to turn like almost right away when you're snapping your wrist. So you're like, gonna like airball a shot or something.
Yeah, pull it to the right. Yep. Yeah, I thought it was neat. I liked watching it. It was a little unorthodox, but I mean, I think it's neat. I think just because of that, you will see it more out on the courses now. Yeah. Just because people are like, why not?
They'll look for it more. Yeah.
Because I've seen some pretty interesting. I was at Memorial, the first time we went to Memorial, and there was a gentleman that would turn his back. He was kind of like a Kona putt. He would turn his back to the basket and then like kind of reach behind him to putt. And that's how he would putt, to where he couldn't go right.
Yeah.
And I asked him about it because we were playing on the same, not on the same card, but we were practicing, and we just happened to be on the same team. I was like, dude, why do you putt like that? And he goes, man, it stops me from throwing right. I would always miss right. So I would turn my back to it, and now I don't miss right.
I'll talk. You just brought Kona, but I'll bring it up at the end of it when we're done talking about DDO.
Sure.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah. So then we'll go into second place. The man that I am super happy he's back in the conversation and he's back playing, because Simon Lizotte is nothing but good for the sport.
Absolutely.
And something to consider, Simon Lizotte really hasn't played since 2020.
Yeah, he missed with the elbow.
Then the baby, then, I mean.
Yeah, he came back at Waco, which was kind of a surprise. I think he was going to come back Texas States for sure, but he got to that tournament early, but he's been playing well.
Right, very.
Yeah.
He's not doing the showman lines as much.
Well, I mean, hole 9 at Country Club, his big turnover where he went out of bounds and landed in circle 1. Unfortunately, he missed the putt.
Yeah.
But that was definitely a showman shot.
Oh, for
Simon
sure.
Line.
Like, that was definitely, And you like to see that now. But man, getting back to what I was saying, being that he hasn't played since 2020, you think of all COVID golfers.
Right.
They don't know him. I mean, they know him, but
I mean, before that, he was extremely active with the vlogs.
Oh, for sure.
COVID. And
for sure.
And, he gained, over 100,000 subscribers in that time. So people were definitely checking out disc golf, any kind of disc golf media they could get. So I'm sure there's plenty of people that know who he is now.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, and it's and I hate to compare him, but it's the Brodie Smith syndrome. Like, people don't realize that Brodie Smith was one of the best ultimate player frisbees that ever existed.
Yeah.
Still to this day. And they know him for his trick shots.
Yeah. Yeah.
People don't know that Brodie Smith was a very, very good am golfer. But they saw his, YouTube. And I think Simon falls into that same thing. Like, they know that he's a very, very good showman in disc golf, like trick shots, things like that. But to actually know that he's actually a really good disc golfer, I mean, so I'm excited because, like I said, Simon's nothing but good for the sport. There is.
And right now, it's the way, with Eagle out and Kyle Klein maybe not playing the best. I mean, he played okay here, but I mean, he's what Discmania has. I mean, Alan Hansen has just been playing well for FPO, but I mean, as far as MPO, he's the name right now for Discmania.
Yep. And like I said, just good for the sport. And then Ricky in the bucket hat, the Raptor bucket hat. So
almost didn't recognize him out there.
It was awesome because I turned it on too because I was really rooting for Brodie, so I wanted to watch the first couple holes, and he kind of fell apart. So then I stopped watching it. But I mean, it was so goofy, it was awesome.
Right.
Like, it was so bad, it was good. One of those
things. The whole
things.
outfit was just head to toe.
Like his Raptors, they were all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it was awesome. But now the bucket hat thing, I bet you is going to be all over the place.
They're coming out in a little while from what I've heard.
Oh, are they really? They're going to release some of them?
Yeah, they're going to release some of those. I think it's Circle One Disc Golf. That's his apparel.
Okay.
Or he has along with Didi and everything. But I think they're going to come out with those in a couple of weeks.
That'll be awesome. I bet you they'll sell very well.
I would think so.
They'll sell very well. Even if they put because he had the polo was the same way, just a bunch of little Raptors, and then his shorts were the same.
I think they're coming out with a bunch of colors. Like he was talking about it last night. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. Sublimation, man. That stuff is awesome what they can do. So, so good for him. Kristen Tatar, is it too early to say I told you so about the Europeans? How I really didn't think Henna and Evelina were going to be a factor, and I was really surprised that everybody just kind of discounted Kristen Tatar. Not that I was arguing with you, but at this point, is it safe to say that Kristen Tatar is the best female disc golfer?
I think it's
plain and simple this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's without a doubt.
Yeah, and not just by the stats, head to head. They did some comp. Who did I hear? Where did I hear?
It was on.
Was it Nick and Matt? Okay.
Yeah, where they're counting the year. It was when Kristen, Paige, and Kat are all in the same field. How many wins they have against them in the field, and then within the past 12 months, I think Kristen had 4, Paige had 3, Katrina had 2.
Yep.
And I forgot what the breakdown was overall, but that was within the past year.
Yeah, and then Kristen Tatar has not been off the podium once this year.
Yeah,
not once.
That's crazy.
And I think she has over, out of all of her rounds, she has something like 9 rounds over 1,000 rated. Just in this past tournament, she had 2 rounds over 1,000 rated. Yeah. She averaged 999 or 998 or something like that. So that race to 1,000, that Paige, everybody said, nah, Paige will get it. Kristen's, I think, in the hunt for that now.
I think so. Yeah. And it's crazy, too, because Kristen had, I think, round 1, she was at +6. Round 2, she was 6 under. She came back and got to even.
Yep.
And then I think she finished
1 over.
1 over, yeah. And then the fight with her and Kat at Country Club the final day was awesome.
That was not a literal fight.
But yeah, not a literal
disc golf
fight, but the disc golf battle.
Yeah, because Kat was down 4 going into the final round, or 6.
So Kat ended up birdieing the first 6 holes.
Yes.
And Kristen, what happened? She dropped.
Yeah, I think she bogeyed 2.
Double bogeyed at least 1 hole.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. She dropped 2 strokes.
Yeah.
So Kat was down 4 strokes going into the, right? Is that how? Yeah.
I think
No,
so.
6 strokes going into the.
Yeah. And she made them up in the first 6 holes.
Yeah, and Kristen dropped down to 1, and she actually was at one point 2 below Kat for, and then 16 happened.
Yeah. Like watching that hole, I was shocked at that play. Like Kat going forehand off the tee, but like short off to that right hand side, close to where the
layup,
the drop zone is. The layup. And then Kristen just parked her shot on the island. It's like, that's a big swing. Like, that's a huge momentum.
Well, and then after going up, Kat throws it OB, and then steps up, sinks a putt. Kristen puts it, like, basically airmails it.
Yeah, and somehow slides off the island.
Somehow hers stays. Yeah. And Kat chained out. Like, it was high right side, but it spit out. It was low right side, just spit straight through, and went right in the water. Just slid right into the water. But Kristen somehow stayed in, and that was the change of it right there. Yeah. That was the 2-stroke swing, put her one up over, and just held on. And that was it. So, but a good back and forth between those two. And for Kat to come up that, I mean, Kat is interchangeably between Paige and Kat. I don't know who you can argue who's second place right now.
You could argue that maybe Kat jumped Paige. Paige has been off the podium. Paige has been kind of off the podium the past couple weeks, or she's struggled. Yeah, I mean, she was tied after the first round at -2, her and Christine Jennings, and then all of a sudden the two of them just kind of slid down, and other people slid up, and that wind was just such a factor.
It was just so crazy wind, and they said that was abnormally strong winds for DDO, and from going back in time, trying to think, watching Glass Blown and DDO. There's always one round where it's windy, but I don't know if I've ever seen it that windy.
Yeah, I don't know. I know last year the first round definitely there was rain and wind. I think.
And you were there.
Yeah. Second day, still not so great, but Ricky ended up having the hot round, the second round of last year's DDO, and
Raincoat Ricky.
Yeah, it was windy, but not like this. Yeah. Definitely not like this.
Yeah. So preview for Worlds is what it is. And for the most part, there's nothing but positive things to say. I mean, that I'm hearing. You hear the rumblings of artificial OBs, garbage, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Like, I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other of OB. As long as it's marked and there's no questions when you play, then it's fine with me. I think there were some holes, it looked like that, like hole 1 landing on that island. That, I mean, it's a beautiful island. I mean, that the landscaping is awesome, but dude, it's like 240 some feet.
291.
Oh, so it's just shy of 300.
291 downhill. You could play it safe to that little creek where like the gap was with the trees.
Okay.
And then anything past that was OB. And then, the drop zone was just past that little creek. Ricky hit it, like Ricky failed to lay up round 1. You saw his disc slide or roll into that little creek. A lot of pros had trouble just hitting like 100-foot little upshot to that, trying to land it. But then he ended up sinking the putt, on the island, which was crazy. But that hole proved to be more difficult than a lot of people you would expect. But
a lot of big numbers on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Paul first round took a 6 on it or something like that. Was it first round or second? No, first round there took a 6 on it.
Yeah.
But beautiful. But man, that is a hard shot.
It is. I heard they were talking about on Understable Minds that the guy who made that hole like they had designed it, he built that all within a week. All that stone and everything. Like he just worked like hard the whole for a week making that.
I mean, it's beautiful. It is awesome. And I think it can become a very iconic hole. Mm-hmm. People were talking about the gaps not fair, the this, the that. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of on McCabe's side saying that you don't have to be able to park every single hole. You don't have, like, sometimes getting a par is a good score. Mm-hmm. And to have that in disc golf, like, instead of the birdie being the good score, the par is a good score, like, you're all paying the same numbers anyways, mm-hmm. It just has a label on it.
Yeah.
So, I'm on his side with that. But like I said, I don't have any inkling, or I don't have any strong feeling one way or the other, whether it was a fair course, not a fair course. I'm excited to see it in Worlds.
Yeah. It was definitely a long course. Mm-hmm. It was like 10,700 feet or something like that.
Yep.
And you could tell mentally people were getting tired playing in the wind on such a long course that just mental fatigue, physical fatigue while throwing in the wind, just having to throw overstable discs the whole time.
Yep.
And just using that power to get as far as you can.
Yeah.
And
that's a lot. And the wind takes a lot out of you. I mean, it dehydrates you really quick. It just takes a lot. Disc golf at that level is probably pretty darn hard, more difficult than I can ever assume it will be as far as mentally taxing and physically. Mm-hmm. Then you add the wind on top of it. Man, it's just, ugh.
Yeah.
But
I liked the course a lot. There was a couple holes, from watching it last year, you could tell that they were just kind of playing a couple of the holes like counterclockwise. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're gonna flip it around. Like hole 5 was the same. I can definitely tell you that hole 5 at Jones Supreme was like kind of the same. I think maybe it was an island hole last year. Like I remember the bridge and there was some markers. So one, or it was the hole next to it, and I forgot what hole it was. But there's 2 holes that were pretty much the same, going the same direction. And then hole 6, like you go up. I just remember the layout from last year and how it was played this year, and it just seemed like a lot of things were kind of played in reverse with different pin positions and the new tee pads and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
yeah.
But it was overall challenging, and I think once the wind dies down, you'll see those negative scores. They'll be popping off. Yeah. But I don't think we'll see the negative 42 or whatever, like Paul shot, like for all 4 rounds.
Yeah.
And I even heard that maybe it might be 1 round at Jones Supreme and 3 at Country Club. Like Eric McCabe.
There's 5 rounds.
Oh, 5 rounds.
So it'd be 2 and 3.
2 and 3. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that makes makes sense.
And I could understand that, because I think the more viewable course is Country Club.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
I think what's going to kind of separate the pack is going to be those first 2 rounds. Mm-hmm. So not bad. I'm excited to see it in Worlds. I'm excited to see what Paul comes back to do in Worlds and how he's going to perform, because I think he's going to have a debt to settle.
Right.
I think he's going to have something to prove when he comes back.
It's cool. He stuck around and watched, though.
He did, yes.
Like, he was hanging out with, I don't know if he was like watching Kristen Tatar's daughter. Like, I know he and Hannah have gotten kind of close with Silver and her. And I saw him standing by, I'm not sure, I forgot what Kristen's daughter's name is, but I saw him standing by her. So I don't know if like he was kind of like the guardian while they were walking around.
Well, that'd be pretty cool. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I mean, it's just awesome that he came back to watch. I mean, he could have easily just been out.
Yeah.
Because I know they're doing stuff down in Florida trying to buy a home or something like that. He could have easily just been like, I'm out, you know, but no, he stuck around. I mean, and I'm sure he had the flight scheduled. I mean, there's certain things, but that's good. That's a true competitor for the very first time in your professional career ever to miss the cut and do it in a pretty devastating fashion. Yeah. Like, and to still stay around, like, I wouldn't have. I would have been crying in bed, and, but I guess that's the difference between him and I.
Right.
So, but yeah, so let's go over our picks. Okay. So, you killed it in FPO. I did okay. So you got the first, the second, and the 7th. So you had Tatar, Allen. So you had Allen for first, Tatar for second, and Mandahano for third. So it ended up being where Tatar was first, Allen was second, and then Mandahano ended up being 7th.
Yeah, that's pretty decent.
So, no, not too bad. And then I had Tatar, Gannon, and Murch. So I had first, 16th, and 17th. So Not too bad. I'm glad they all showed up, but as far as the size of the field, I mean, could have done better. Could have done a lot better. And then let's see, MPO. Both of us had Paul to win. Didn't make the cut, so we'll scratch those ones out. I had Dickerson and Ricky, so Ricky came in first, and then Dickerson was in 8th. You had Calvin and Gannon both tied for 10th.
Yeah.
So we kind of offset each other's picks there. So. As far as tournaments go, really, Goat Hill is the next one, but it won't be a great field. There's not going to be a lot of top level pros.
Is that a silver series?
No, it's nothing.
It's just an A tier.
Just an A tier this year.
Okay, yeah, because I mean the next Elite Series is OTB, and that's in 2 weeks. So I mean, there's really not much going on.
Yeah, the OTB. Yeah, so there's not much coming, but yeah, Challenger Goat Hill is the next one, right? Am I right? Or is it Santa Cruz?
I know Ricky talked about playing Santa Cruz.
Okay,
so Masters Cup might be coming.
But Ricky's down in Mexico.
But he's gonna play it. He told me, he mentioned he was gonna play Santa Cruz, but he's relaxing right now in Mexico. Yeah.
Okay, so then it is Goat Hill this weekend.
It could be.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
and Dickerson's taking 2 months off.
Really, just because he doesn't want to do the West Coast swing.
Yeah. So he's skipping OTB. He's skipping Beaver State, like all those.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's see. So there was a skins match played.
I was going to mention. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just going to mention Kona.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so she ended up dropping out. Like there was apparently
the COVID scare.
A couple people. Colton ended up getting it, and Kona ended up testing negative, but she had wanted to drop out because of some immunocompromised competitors, I think. And then Matty O dropped out.
Yeah, because he had it.
Yeah, and then I think there was one other person that I had heard that
I can't remember.
Dropped.
Tristan Tanner.
Yes, Tristan Tanner. That was it. And I kind of that's
there was one other person. There were 4 people. That was 4 with Kona.
Yeah, with Kona. I mean, she didn't have it, but she elected to drop it. And it's too bad because that's 3 Trilogy players. And Tristan Tanner was playing pretty well. I don't know how Matt Oram or Kona are really doing, but
I didn't pay attention to either of those. No. But I think Oram never even teed off.
Really? Okay.
I'm not sure he did or didn't. But so my question with that is, when does it stop being a thing? Like, is this going to be just forever the COVID thing in disc golf? Like, how much longer is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, when does it become? How can I say this without being controversial? No, I don't care. When is it going to become another? Just someone sick.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because numbers aren't dictating that it's any more dangerous than anything else. And I know we have to keep an eye on it because we don't have proper vaccines. There's certain things that need to be done. And I think those need to be taken care of first. But how long is this going to be the priority? Like, I wonder if the PDGA or the Pro Tour is going to, I mean, I'm sure the rest of this year, but next year, is this still going to be?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those weird things because, like, here locally, I've definitely, numbers have dropped. Like, I haven't heard anything about it. But for the Pro Tour traveling from state to state, I feel like, who knows what numbers are being reported state by state or whatever local area.
And then other countries like China shutting down, things like that.
Canada's still under pretty strict guidelines and restrictions as well.
Yeah. So I think just more like, I want it to be over.
Yeah.
I just want it to be done. So every time you think you're getting like, it's going to go back to normal, and then something else happens. So, but sucks. Hopefully, good health and everything is good and nobody gets abnormally sick and they recover well. So, U.S. Women's Disc Golf Championship, record numbers, 346 players.
That's AM
and pro.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's an all women's event. And that's fantastic. 346 women. That's great. And to see that type of growth when they started that, I mean, you would have 40, 50 women total.
Right.
That's fantastic. I mean, I think that is awesome. So good to hear. So that's awesome. So
it's
bit of news.
In Madison.
Is it in Madison?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's awesome. Yeah. I remember now. Okay. Because they were talking about how it's the first time that Nate Doss, Valerie Jenkins would have potentially been back to Madison since she won.
Oh, so okay. That's cool.
All right. So let's have a conversation about our doubles round. Or do you just want to skip that? So there's this thing between JP and I. So I'll tell you, the local course that I play, or that we play, I, on the regular, am anywhere between 3 to 6 under on this course. I've had as low as a 7 under round there was my record. Usually when we play doubles, and I've won a considerable amount of times with my partner, we're usually in that 8 to 10 range. Mm. 6 to 9 is a really respectable score. 1 over. I don't know if you and I have even played under par as partners.
I don't know. That's a
and it's not
question.
Your fault.
Can we Statmando this?
Yeah, exactly. There's something, you and I get together, and it's, and it's not even that obviously we're throwing bad shots, but it's not that we're like horrendous.
No.
It's just we can't pull together at the same time.
Right. So, it's funny too, because like the week before Tyler and I were killing it, we were 9 under.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't a lot of people, but we still played like really well.
Uh-huh.
I felt really confident going into this.
That's right. You won the week before.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm with Shane. We'll do all right. And then I was like, okay, we're gonna shank a couple drives on this hole. Yeah. And then putting was a problem. I didn't putt very well.
And it's weird. Like, this isn't like a, popping my own collar or giving but usually when people get me as a partner, like, yeah, that's great. We're going to win. And there's a really good chance, because I think last year, I won like 8 or 9 of them, like with my partner, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason, and then you and I get together, and I think we played like 3 times together as partners.
Yeah, something like that.
Because you flop between the A and the B pool. Yeah, depending on who's there. Mm-hmm. And this week just happened to be in the B pool, and I'm in the A pool. So, oh man, I couldn't figure it out, and it didn't matter how I threw or what I was throwing, forehand, backhand, putters. It didn't matter. Like, nothing worked.
Yeah,
nothing worked.
I had just a couple drives where I'd hit a tree or I'd just get a really weird line and it just wouldn't work out. Yeah. Here and there. And then I'm trying to think of any particular hole 15 really screwed us.
Oh, that's the one in the woods, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was bad. Well, at that point we were already like 4 strokes back from the people we were playing against. Right. So we were just like, man, let's have fun. So these gaps that didn't exist. You know how they say in disc golf, take the 90%, not the 10%? Yeah. We were taking the 10% gaps. It would have been very easy to pitch out and take the bogey instead of the double bogey.
Right. We're like, hey, look, there's a window here that's like 2 feet wide, but like, I think I can hit it.
You got to hit like 90 feet straight as an arrow, but it's only 2 feet wide. It's like throwing down a pipe. Yeah. So... But yeah, so we'll
it was fun.
We'll do better next time. Yeah, because we finished 1 over, and like I said, on the regular. Well, although the last time I played solo, it was 7 over, which sucked. It was a bad day. That was the day I played with Tyler and Jordan. So, it was 7. No, it was 9 over. I think. I don't know. Anyways, it was bad. So,
so it goes.
Yeah, but we'll do better next time. How about that? So, you want to go first or me?
Oh. Yeah, random question. Uh-huh. Okay. I'll go first. All right. If you had to stick out the zombie apocalypse with a FPO and an MPO player, one of each, who would they be?
One of each. FPO, MPO. Do you have something in your mind?
Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to say FPO. This is hard. So how in depth do I get? Because is this like restart a population or just survive?
Just survive.
Just survive. Okay. Yeah. So this isn't like building a community. This is just like we need to survive for so let's say a week or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So just based on survival, I would say, I don't know. This is hard. Okay. I'll take Jen Allen as my FPO.
Okay.
And the reason why is because I feel like she would be like super take charge, athletic. Like I know she's strong. I think she did like Taekwondo or something like that. Okay. So I feel like she could hold her own. Yeah. And I think it'd be awesome to spend time and talk with her because she's seems like a cool chick. MPO. I just need someone that's brutish, so I'm gonna go with Ezra. Ezra Aderholt. So I just feel like, are these the same people you picked?
Ezra was going to be one of mine, but I have somebody else.
Okay. Because I need to put like a piece of lumber in someone's hand and he can swing it. Like that's Ezra Aderholt. So why am I writing their names down at the same time?
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So those are my two.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So yeah, Ezra was going to be mine because for the same reason, he's big and brutish. I was like, he's strong. I think he could whip some ass.
Yeah.
My pick I'm going to pick Chris Dickerson.
Okay.
I think.
Is it that crazy beat serial killer vibe?
No, I think he might have like good survival like skills, like hunting, fishing. Like if you have to like survive out, like
Hamas would be that good way too.
Oh, that absolutely, yeah. And he took this week off. For DDO. But yeah, like I think if you had to like truly survive off the land and like blend in, or like he would be somebody that could maybe get through it and like, hey, that berry's poisonous, you shouldn't eat it, or like something like that.
I like that.
And then the other person I was gonna pick was Katrina, because I think she's a pretty take charge and like level headed for sure. Like in a situation, she would just hold her cool and not freak out. But she's also like working out all the time. She's on the carnivore diet.
Oh, she does the carnivore?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So I think she could make it through as well.
You know who else? Sarah Gilpin.
Oh, okay.
Like, I feel like Sarah Gilpin might be one because she's like super nature, like, but I don't know if she could kill anything. Like, I think she's super like, I love everything, everything has. But she might be a good one too.
Okay. Would Emerson Keith survive?
I give it. Yeah, he'd be he'd hide in a log.
Oh,
he'd hide in a log. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, he would.
I was trying to think of people that maybe couldn't survive.
Who would be the people that couldn't survive? Yeah, there could be people. Yeah. All right, here we go. Ready?
All right.
If there was a disc golf sitcom, who would be in it?
Ooh.
MPO, FPO.
MPO. Zach Melton.
Melton, okay.
Yep, I like that. I like him right off the top. Like I can see him.
Would he play like the Kramer role, or would he just?
It's funny. Like it's hard to. I need like some kind of like.
All right, how about this? Big Bang Theory, and you had to recast it with disc golfers.
Oh, okay. I never really watched that show.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, it's a good show.
Okay.
It's a good show.
Yeah, I could see, like Zach's funny, and like I would definitely pick like Zach and Calvin. Like, they're dynamic.
Heinberg,
yeah, they're dynamic together. And I think that would go, like, I haven't seen it, but what's his, Jim, what's his name from Big Bang Theory? Like, he's the tall guy that's like kind of like the
Oh,
nerdy.
yeah.
And then the Johnny Galecki with the glasses, like they're dynamic together,
Yeah.
I think Cat Merch.
Okay, I could see that.
She's just kind of funny to me. Like
she is like her whole like spider thing when she was carrying the spider on the disc. Like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think she's had some funny like TikToks and things too that like kind of.
I don't follow her.
Yeah.
Oh, I should. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of who else would be good. I feel like you kind of need like that straight man role a little bit as well.
Okay, like the Joey from Friends type role.
No, like you have the people like, well, I guess like, but Joey's like that role where he's like not dumb, but like very pretty aloof. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to have like that's more of like a Three's Company thing. Those three.
But with Melton and because Heinberg was definitely in my. So I think Heinberg and Germ.
Oh,
without
Germ
a doubt.
Good, yeah.
And then from there, I've tossed out Yuli. I think Yuli would be good. Heather Young, and then Cat Merch was one. When you said that, I was like, absolutely Cat Merch. But then you need that like goofy, bubbly. Like I'm trying to think like Hannah Mcbeth.
Okay. I was gonna say like Tina Oakley.
Oh, she would be good too. Eric Oakley would be good too.
Yeah, Eric would be good too.
Yeah. Tina. That would be funny. So, all right. I don't know if there's anything else we have to talk about. So let's get into the shop updates. We just got a Prodigy restock this week. So last week and the week before, we got a ton of stuff. We got the Ledgestone drop. I mean, we got on and on. Discraft and bags and blah, blah, blah. And this week is just the Prodigy restock. So we got a couple of the Team Series, and then we got the Distortion. Ooh. Is that the Distortion? The D2?
No, the Distortion's a mid or like putt and approach.
Oh, then it's not. It's the Reverb.
Reverb? That's the Kevin Jones.
Yeah, that's what we got. So we got the Reverb.
I mean, the Distortion's also a Kevin Jones, but the driver is the Reverb. Yeah.
So it's the Reverb, the D2-ish one. Yeah.
I think so.
So, yeah, we got the Reverb in, or we should have it in. Actually, it should have been delivered today. And then, so that's really about it. We have some new movings and shakings going around, and we're putting new racks in still. We're still moving stuff around because we have so many discs, which is awesome. But outside of that, go check out the site. Everything is online that we can put online. We do have Zuka, and the Zuka will be going live pretty soon too. And we got another employee coming. Well, actually, he used to be an employee. He's coming back for the summer. And what we're going to do is we're going to really focus on putting out TikToks and Instagram Reels and all that fun stuff. And we're going to rebuild the website. And this is the one that you're going to like. We're going to start a YouTube. So we're going to see if we can push out some videos on YouTube. Testing discs, doing things like that. Yeah. Fun little rounds, comparing side-by-side discs. So we'll probably start doing that this summer. So one day dedicated, Joe, if you hear this, one day dedicated to social media and, online presence. So
that's cool. Did you mention last time that you guys had the Paul Mcbeth bags and the
buzz bags? Yeah, the Paul Mcbeth and the buzz bags. Yeah, the Paul Mcbeth are the big boys, the AX5s. Yeah. Those are the big boys, and then the BX3s we have with the buzz. So
So last time I was looking at the Paul Mcbeth bags. There was two like special blend or special edition Lunas.
Yes, that came with it.
Yeah, and I was like, ooh, these are. I just felt them.
Yeah, they're super soft, super gummy. They're kind of like the very first rendition of the Luna, but they're softer. Yeah. So, but they have that same tacky like rubber blend almost to them. So, yeah, they're really nice. So those come with Paul Mcbeth bag. So, I think that's it. So, we have an Instagram.
Yeah. New Instagram for the podcast. It is night_owls_pod, and that's for the show page. Let me just double check that real quick.
I'm sure if you just look up Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast, it'll come up.
It will. Yep, that's night_owls_pod. Yep, and that's for the podcast. Yeah,
and door_disc_golf. And yours.
onenight.owl.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Keep it subpar and make sure you check out his OnlyFans. We're not going to put that on the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast page, are we?
Get a feet pic.
Yeah, the feet pic.
Just kidding. But I need money for discs.
Yes. So he'll take pictures of his D's to buy more D's. Peace.